So next we have three speakers, Stählin, Philipp Thomann, Christian Laux, and they will be giving a talk on digital transformation in legal industry, showcased on Swiss Data Protection Act. Stählin is a senior consultant at D1. She received her MSc in biology from ETH Zurich. Her expertise are data architecture, analytics, and visualization. Christian Laux is partner at Laux Lawyers AG. He has 20 years of experience in technology-related legal issues, which he combines with a great passion for technical matters to create highly focused solutions for his clients. Philipp Thomann is a managing consultant at D1. Philipp received his PhD in mathematics from University of Zurich. His areas of expertise are machine learning, statistics, and data mining. The exponential growth of data poses the biggest challenge to the legal industry. Currently available tools do not meet the need of lawyers when they have to browse through hundreds and thousands of documents. In a hands-on demo, the presenting team will show how lawyers can leverage state-of-the-art technology to gain accuracy and increase cost efficiency. Please come on stage. This is simple to use.
So thank you so much, Nadine, for this introduction. And it's actually very nice to be able to speak in front of real faces again. So imagine you are at home in your apartment and you have to search for a document, one specific sheet of paper that is stored away somewhere in a folder or in a drawer. To me, this happens at least once a year when I have to do my tax declaration, and I find it really annoying. But there are industries where this still happens on a day-to-day basis. And the legal industry in Switzerland is one of them. So why is this? We see two reasons for this. One is actually a structural one. So it is still a requirement to hand in paper documents at court. So the evidence has to be physical. The second one is that clients of lawyers, but also insurances paying the bills, are not really asking the lawyers to apply digital solutions, so there is not really a pressure to do so. Interestingly, though, both of these things are about to change. So for one, a government project lies the foundation for electronic document exchange between official prosecutors, the court, and lawyers. This project is called Justitia 4.0, and what they are discussing is a new e-justice law. Also, there seems to be an increasing amount of clients that do ask their lawyers to apply digital solutions. And it is exactly in this scenario that we were able to start a project. This is D1. We have been working in the area of data analytics for about 20 years, and now we get the chance to apply this knowledge in the legal space. Of course, we are not the first ones to embark on this endeavor. Previous tools already exist. But we seem to have had an edge over these competing tools, and today we want to tell you about the critical success factors of our story. So one is that our solution was really tailored to a specific case and tailored to the Swiss legal system. Second, we made it really transparent what the solution is doing. So it is not just a black box that we put in front of the user, but he actually understands what is going on. And last but not least, we have also emphasized analytics service. So it's not just a tool, but it is all the time complemented with ad hoc analyses. Of course, the nature of this project is highly confidential, but today we want to share with you a demonstration version of the tool. The demonstration version is really built around the question, how can you interpret a law text that is not yet in effect? In Switzerland, we have this situation right now around the Data Protection Act. And so in the demonstration version, we have compiled a document database containing the law text, the revised one of next year, but also the one dating back to 1992, recommendations by the FDPIC, previous judgments, comments of experts in the field, etc. You will actually get the chance to try this tool for yourself, but before this, we briefly want to demonstrate to you how it works.
Okay, thank you. Should I go here? Yes, thank you. So let's start the video in that case. In the center of many legal cases, there is one central document that you're looking at. It might be a contract in a bile, or it might be a bill of indictment, something like that. Here, for this demo case, we are looking at the DPA Act. So it starts here on the right-hand side. You see Article 2 of the revised DPA that will become law in January. In the middle, you see a version that was discussed a couple of years ago. And then on the left-hand side, you have the original DPA from 1992 that is still the law today. So now you might be interested in looking, in understanding how precedents could be carried over to the new version, to this revised DPA. So first of all, you need to see what are the differences between those two versions. So we, as coming from IT, obviously we have a tool that we use all the time for that. So we implemented here on the PDF, a diff tool. So you see here immediately what changed, what was deleted, and what was added. So for instance, in the first sentence, the corporate persons were actually deleted from the text, from the definition. Then you see also some stylistic changes that probably won't change too much on interpretation, but there are also some more heavy interpretation things that will change. For instance, but the letters A and B, you see they didn't change at all. So you can carry over the interpretation of those points there. Now, for lawyers, they might be used to such tools, but probably they don't use it too much. So it's important that if you're looking in one specific document that you can tell that story. Now, the second part of the carrying over is to look at all the references that have been around. For instance, we have here all the exceptional or the special decisions by the highest court in Switzerland since 1992, and we search using a regular expression for all the mentions of the DPA Act. And you see immediately what are the contexts and so on. Then we have also some comments. For instance, this now is a comment that actually already is for the revised DPA. So this is linked to the right-hand side, in fact, because the articles don't always match. Now let's go into one example. For instance, here in this decision by the highest administrative court. So you click on it and you immediately are there in the actual document. So you can read what happens there. You see immediately, here we search for the Article 2. So we actually see immediately where we are going for, and it's actually linked. So you see a little bit down, there's also Article 3 of the DSG, and letter E is mentioned. So you can just click on it like you are used to in the web all the time. You can do it now in PDF. So you immediately get to this cockpit page where you see Article 3 of the 1992 version. You see also it's actually Article 5 in the revised one, and you see letter E is now letter D. So, but in there, nothing much changed, so you can think, you can assess that that might be still valid. So let's go back. You have here in the PDF other enrichments, not only these links, for instance, to the articles of the Law Act, of the bill. No, you also have enrichment. For instance, here you see DSG is mentioned. Down there is the Bundesverwaltungsgericht, and so on. If you click on that, that will Jacqueline show you later, you immediately go to the search. You can also navigate through this document now, because we only show you the one page that is interesting for you at that time. which makes it extremely fast to load, even for large documents. You can navigate, go, for instance, to the next page, go to the first page to look what happens, what document it is. This is actually a decision where the EDUB was accusing a sporting club in Schaffhausen. Yeah, so let's go back to the cockpit, into the cockpit tab. You see here now, this is the central document that we are looking at. Now, how do we actually get this, this visual there? So actually you see this article 2, it says it's on page 1, but it actually continues to page 2. So actually we're just taking out fragments of PDFs and putting them so that you have them on first sight, you see everything. If you want to go into detail, you can just click on it, look it up, what is the context. You see here, article 2 starts on page 1. Then it continues to page 2 until the first third, and then article 3 actually is already extracted to a second part. So based on that, you see it's extremely important to look into the document. So if you are in a very big case with lots of documents, there still might be some central ones that you want to have a specialized cockpit for that. So behind that is actually a foundation, a strong data pipeline that we do for all of these PDFs. We use several methods to split them up into single pages. We then extract lots of information from that. For instance, the entities that we also clean them. We do some automatic summarization you might see later. And if you are interested in automatic summarization, go later to Mark Silberg's talk about that subject. We do date parsing, which is extremely important in the legal context, usually to get all the dates in all the documents. We also do a second independent OCR, not for this tool right now that you can see, but for the actual one, so that we can be sure that the text that we get out of the PDF is really the one that's visible there. So this is all the foundation behind the lines. The front end then uses all of that, for instance, to do these web-like navigation through the pages of the documents, to do the full text search. We also have possibility to add labels. You can create document collections. We have some image similarity that we use to enhance the search, and so on. So back to Jacqueline.
Thank you. So talking about this front end, this is exactly what I would like to show to you right now, because this is our way of showing the user what is actually behind the tool. So if we could show the video, please. Thank you. So this search engine looks a bit like Google. So you go into the search engine and you look for something that is of interest, like the validity of consent. There are 14 search results, so 14 PDF pages in the corpus mention these keywords. We have some visuals that summarize the timestamps, how are they distributed, also what type of documents we have in the search set, and also some further search terms that could help narrow down the search. We can have a very quick glance at all of the results. We see where the keyword is mentioned in the text, but we also have the possibility to drill down further using these visuals. So now we are down to 5 search results. We can also go into a bit more detail about the search results by going directly to a PDF viewer and also to the OCR'd raw content of the PDF page. Then we have the possibility to navigate to the PDF viewer in a document setting. So here we basically also again see the highlighted keywords that we have searched, and we have the possibility to navigate back and forth. And you have links to other documents in the corpus if they are available, but also back to the inspection cockpit. So like this, it becomes like an internet for your specific document set. But as I mentioned, this is not the end of the story. It is not just a tool. In this legal project, almost unlike anywhere else, it was crucial to provide insights in time. So we really had to do analytic services and do them fast. There were two types of analyses we had to do. One was basically going into a bit more detail about a specific question. Like, for instance, we were trying to find documents that are privileged, so they shouldn't have been in the document set in the first place. But we have also done some overview analysis that allows you to get the big picture about something. And we have also done an analysis like this for our demonstration scenario. So basically, you might ask yourself which article of the law is the most relevant. And you can actually use the number of documents that are referenced in an article as a cue for this. We can now show the video. Thank you. This is a dashboard like you probably know it from your own business. So again, we have on the left-hand side, we have the number of documents of a specific type that are referenced in a law article. We also see the timeline of the timestamps of these documents. And last but not least, we can have a look at some of the details of the pages that are referenced. So the user can really interact with this, and he can drill down, for instance here, to these 8 documents referenced in Article 17. And then he can also look at the details of the page and can finally go back to the actual PDF page in the PDF viewer to look at it from here. So now that we have shown you the data analytics perspective about the tool, it would of course also be nice to hear the perspective of an expert in the field of data protection. And for this, we have Christian Laux today with us.
Thank you. So I'll be very short, and there will be more on it in the afternoon. So we, of course, in the legal profession do have tools that give us a search function over a case law and a legal literature. But you can imagine there's one tool for the whole profession, so you have a breadth of all documents, and they're not going in depth necessarily. So this is a specific purpose. And now with this tool, that is a game changer for the profession because it is an open purpose, like a bucket in which you can throw the corpus as you define it. And it can be the case law you deem relevant. It can be trained, or sort of trained. It can be more relevant documents. It can be factual documents, as Jacqueline explained in the reference case. And so that makes it customizable. And so basically, it becomes a sandbox that becomes more relevant for me and has added functionality as opposed to what we currently use in our profession. And that will be an increased, or that will increase like the professional use of documents. And of course, save time. And as you know, time is the thing lawyers sell, and usually at an elevated price. In sum, this makes the tool a weapon, of course, for the lawyer using it. And that's what you would like to have. You would like to have a consultant using weapons. And that's why we, as our firm, have decided we will use the tool within our client portal and embed it into the service, which will become more automated. Back to you.
Thank you very much for this perspective, Christian. So, again, what is the value of this solution, really? We believe that we have hit a sweet spot with this solution. So first, in the context of this Data Protection Act inspector that we brought today with us, this is a help for all sorts of data protection needs. So if you're not an expert in the field, you might go to this inspector and use it as a knowledge base in order to make your assessment with more information. Of course, this can also be helpful for legal departments of companies who are at the moment all dealing with the same insecurities around the data protection, because it will only change next year, but in a broader context. So for the whole Swiss legal system, what does this tool mean? So first of all, it is a tool or a solution that is really tailored to the lawyer and not to a paralegal or an assistant doing the work, but is really the lawyer stepping in. Second, as also Christian explained, it allows a broad range of applications. So for instance, in a litigation process, a solution like this can be helpful to really dissect charges. In a company transaction, for instance, a due diligence phase, it can be helpful to assess term sheets or contracts. But also in an academic setting, it can help to analyze law texts, as we show here, or previous judgments. So this will be a big push for digitization in the Swiss legal system. And also, we believe that it will become very common for lawyers to really argue based on statistics and based on data analysis in the future. So maybe just two more very interesting features that we are really excited about and want to share. So one is related to argument mining. So a litigation process is basically two parties telling stories around the same facts, but with a different outcome. And we believe it should be possible to dissect this chain of arguments, to take it apart, and falsify or verify conclusions based on data. The second very interesting feature is about technology-assisted review. So basically, as soon as someone starts looking at documents and starts flagging them as either relevant, irrelevant, or belonging to any other type of category, the machine can already start learning these flags and can flag the rest of the document set, thus increasing accuracy and, of course, speed of the review. So as I have already hinted, we brought the demonstration with us for you to try. Using this QR code, you can scan it. You will be actually prompted for your email address, so make sure to use a valid email address. And it is probably best tried on a laptop, but it can also be done on your phone. And then we are very happy and excited to hear your feedback, your ideas about it, so that we can discuss today later at the conference, or maybe even in our hallway discussion at 3 p.m. Looking forward to talk to you there.
Thank you very much, all of you, for such an interesting talk. I remember watching some TV series, where... Thank you. I remember watching TV series where, people, lawyers like to print everything, emails and everything. There's a stack of papers they have to go through to come up with conclusions and ideas and so on. So automating such a process must have been very interesting. Do we have any questions here? Anyone? I have a couple, actually. Maybe I can, I found it very interesting. The first one is that the biggest challenge for such products is cultural, to get people on board. How was it for you to, get your lawyers getting involved in using such a tool?
So basically, lawyers are in a profession that is considered to be slow. So actually, that is slow in adopting change. And well, we do IT law, and our team is relatively small and sort of more into that like future-oriented mindset already, I would say. But this is now the task to explain to the lawyers the benefits they can reap when using the tool. And of course, if you do the math, and I think that's the carrot probably that will be working best, you save 1 hour, and there's just a multiple in it. That's the fee per hour. And so usually efficiency can be represented by numbers, and that should convince people.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Any questions, anyone? No? So maybe the next one is for the technical side a bit, that like these OCR-based systems tend to be very challenging, no? And then you have to render it first into text and then render it back into PDFs. How did you achieve that? Because such systems are very complicated to work with.
Yeah, so we actually tried several packages and possibilities. In the end, for us, the Google Cloud Vision worked the best. So we used that to do a second OCR. Actually, in most cases, PDFs already, I guess, maybe 70–80% of PDFs already have some OCR in it, so you can see it if you can copy or select something in it and copy it. You can paste it somewhere. Then it has something, but this already might be from a scanning or copy machine back in beginning, I don't know, 5 years or 20 years old. So it might be very bad OCR there. So we really had to do a second one. And then we also have a heuristics to decide whether it's better to keep the original one or to take the cloud one.
Sounds complicated. Thank you very much for the answer. And congratulations for developing such a tool and taking the lawyer industry to the next level. I hope you release it to the other people in the world as well. We have something small for you here. One for all of you for your very interesting talk.
Thank you very much.
Gift from the Alliance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much once again. Perhaps another round of claps for the amazing presentation.
Thank you very much.
So thanks, and please come in the afternoon to our hallway discussion and sign in for the app. We are really looking forward for everybody.
Thank you, Philip.